What's happening, so fam? So today we're going to be talking about crystals because I have so many, right? So the crystal that we're going to be talking about today is really good for your root chakra, is really good for your heart chakra, and it's got a bunch of properties that are very useful for like any blood disorders or, you know, like anything that you're dealing when it comes to like facing the mortality of your own situation and like all the aspects of like life and death. The stone is so powerful, and the one that I have here is actually pretty heavy, so it's gonna take me a quick second to like lift it. But before I get into this stone, you can make a water method with it, right? Like if you make water with it, you're gonna be able to make an inflammatory remedy. You're gonna be able to help yourself with any digestive issues that you might be dealing with. And it's also a very common stone that you can find everywhere. It's not very expensive. So what stone am I talking about? It's bloodstone, girl. So as you can see, this is a major obelisk that I have, and check out all the colors inside of it. Now, finding a bloodstone obelisk that's 14 pounds is going to be kind of difficult and kind of pricey. You know, I know people, so I was able to actually like get this kind of cheap. But, you know, this is one of the stones that I've been using to help people who have, you know, like blood imbalances. You know, like I make water out of it. I charge my water, rather I put my water next to it, or I go ahead and I will get smaller pieces of this and put the water inside of it. That's something that's really, really helpful. It definitely helps with inflammation if you're ever dealing with inflammation. And it's also like the reason why I have a particular obelisk is because obelisks are really, really good for just kind of like filtering the energy of your house. The Egyptians were super huge on obelisks. So basically, I just put it somewhere. Usually I put it in my kitchen, or I'll put it in my living room, depending on what kind of energy I want to put into it. In feng shui, this has a lot of wood, earthy energy. So it's a very good energy for like just kind of like setting this intention that you're going to grow it in general. And I love meditating with it because you see these red lines, they get more vivid and more intense as you meditate with it. This is a form of jasper, I believe. So it's got a lot of good beneficial properties, but what I really want to show you guys is how it feels, okay? And you can, like I said, easily find this in any common crystal shop. If you cannot find it in a crystal shop, like, I mean, where are you shopping, right? Because this is probably one of the easiest stones to get, but you can definitely find it on Etsy, on eBay. I don't really know if you can find it on Amazon. I've never really shopped on Amazon for this type of stone, but you're just gonna take a deep breath. Set the intention that we're in the same room right now. Whew. I'm gonna pick up this bad boy. I'm just gonna point it right at you, all right? And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, boof. What you're experiencing is a crystal healing, an Antojai crystal healing. Let it come into your bloodstream. Let it influence your water. Let it influence any areas where you're feeling any form of inflammation that you need to get released. Ooh, girl. Just take them deep breaths. I love this stone too because when you meditate with it, and look, the sun's coming out. I love it. It's been super cloudy all day, and it's coming out just because we're meditating. This is the power of Antojai Alchemy. So I basically, you know, I take this stone mostly because it's got a lot of wisdom, and it forces you to really grow, and it forces you to accept like this courage for your own personal growth. So if you're somebody who's always like dealing with like, oh my God, I'm ready to take the next step in my ascension, but you know, I'm always so afraid of what's gonna happen next. Bloodstone's one of those stones that you really want to use to carry around. So it's going to help you really like step into that courage mode where like you cannot gain without a little pain, right? We know that about the gym. So it gives you that ability to know that wisdom that, you know, with everything that comes, chaos is always just a gateway for us to like step into something newer, something more powerful, something more beneficial for us. Take another deep breath. So what I'm doing is I'm holding this huge obelisk and I'm looking at it like a bazooka laser. Boosh! And I'm sending all that energy from right here all up at you. And while I'm doing it, you know, whenever I do any sort of crystal healing, I look at this shape. If it's an obelisk of this size, which I have a ton of them, but Not all of them are easy to pick up because some of them are well over 40 pounds. If I can carry it like this, I'll hold it and just point it at you. Boop, 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 boop. And this is like my laser pointer. Boop, 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 boop. And then I'm like, thank you, Bloodstone. You're amazing. You're like my bestie. And since Bloodstone has like this wood energy, obviously it connects to Mother Earth. So this is a really good stone if you're doing any of the like neurocodes, any of the Earth alchemy that I've been teaching on Patreon. And I let myself just hit the frequency of the stone. A lot of times we're like, oh, well, we're going to use the stone to heal you, right? No, the stone is just a representation of a frequency that exists inside of reality. If you're putting all of the power into the stone, you're a crap energy healer. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't really care if you have a problem with that. But if you understand that, hey, the stone is just a materialized vibration of a frequency that is existing somewhere else in the cosmos, meaning that in this dimension, it's vibrating so slow that it takes the shape of a stone, but the stone is not really what's generating the power. The stone is just a tool that I'm using to connect to the frequency that I'm going to be applying to a person. Deep breath. If you can think in that fashion, then you're a great energy healer, especially if you're using crystals. You cannot give the power to the crystals. So many people are like, oh my God, I'm going to let my crystal do all my manifestation for me. Oh my God. And then that's like not you really being the creator of your own reality. And if you feel like I'm making fun of you, yeah, well, whatever. That's life. Get over it. You can take it personally or you cannot. I'm here to educate, and I'm here to break your perceptions that limit you from actually tapping into the full divinity of all ascension that is around you. So if you take personal offense to anything, that's a lesson you gotta learn, right? That's the wisdom that's coming from the Bloodstone. Perfect. I open my heart chakra and my root chakra to it. I call upon the Ankh of life. And Bloodstone's a really great stone to like really manifest with in general, because what I do is like I'll grab a notebook, I'll put the notebook underneath this like huge bloodstone obelisk, and what I'll do is I'll meditate with that bloodstone, be like, yeah, okay, bloodstone, we're turning into this energy for manifestation. I'm not saying like Bloodstone do my work for me. I'm saying Bloodstone, work with me. Let's do this together. And sometimes I have some like techno music in the background that makes me just like, It's part of your ritual, right? You gotta turn your stones into a ritual. A lot of times people are like, oh my God, the only way I can do energy healing is by having like super zen music, right? If that works for you, that works for you. Some people, like myself, oh my God, I'm such a better healer when I'm listening to some techno. And I know sometimes my patients can't deal with techno. So I'll put on some bone conducting headphones where I'm the only one that can hear it and I can still hear my patient. And I'm just playing some techno beats, through my brain. And I'm in the zone, right? Because as an energy healer, you need to be able to use all the tools around you for energy healing. You need to understand that the stone is just a tool. The stone is not actually doing the work for you. The stone is just a manifestation that you use, an interpretation, to tap into a higher frequency of energy, right? Because everything is energy, right? And matter isn't real, so you can't put your whole belief in the power of the stone itself when the stone is really just a frequency that in this dimension shows up as a stone. But if we were to take away all the components of this 14-pound stone just to realize that it's a vibration of frequency, take a deep breath. I'm going to put it down right in front of me because it's heavy. Deep breath. I'm not even touching the bloodstone at this moment. I understand the properties of the bloodstone, so all I'm doing is bringing the energy of the bloodstone to you through me, because I understand that what I'm looking for is actually the vibration of the bloodstone, not the bloodstone itself. It does help buying the stones. I would be lying to you if I don't have stones, right? But the stones are just there because like every once in a while I do forget what the vibration of a citrine is, so I'll hold on to a citrine and like I'd rather like feel that in the present moment. Take a deep breath. So this is a great stone to just have in your office. It's a great stone to, like, you know, maybe have in tumble versions, like a little bucket of it. And sometimes when a patient comes through, I have like these little buckets of tumble stone. If a patient just comes through and I'm like, you need some bloodstone, girl. You need some rose quartz. I just give them a tumble stone. It's all like, I don't know, $1 online, right? And I tell them, you better carry this. It's like your new pet. If you don't carry this, you're going to see, girl. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, or you're just looking to accelerate your ascension, master all of your psychic abilities and more, set up a clarity call with me. Check out the link below. Check out the link in my bio on Instagram. Or send me a message on Instagram, DM me saying clarity call, or just do it yourself through the link below, and we'll get you a free clarity call. I usually charge $300 to sit down with someone and talk about, you know, what their blockages are. So only join if you're serious about it, because we don't want to waste either one of our times. But you can learn to do really powerful things like this, like really tapping into the vibration of stones without having this handicap that you always need a stone. That's one of the things I really teach my students, is like, there is this manifestation that we create, but we always give our power to the manifestation instead of holding it on the internal, which is the ultimate vibration of creation, which is source. So I'm sending you a bunch of love. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, share, and, you know, like, comment Ascension down low, really, and just be like, oh my God, love it. If you loved it, Ascension. It's simple. All right. See you in the next video where we'll be talking about other stones.